Super welterweight Joey Spencer must fancy himself a gambling man because he's all set to face Tszyu, former world titleist, on April 6th from Newcastle. Is it time for Spencer to step it up, or is it time for Tszyu to separate himself? Boxing is full of stories, and the narratives that people find with the stories that are told from the sport can be quite compelling and interesting. So on Saturday, April 5th, it'll be Sunday, April 6th for some people around the world, former world super welterweight titleist Tszyu will be taking on Joey Spencer in a fight that is scheduled for 10 rounds, and it's going to be a defining match of these two men coming together to sort their careers to see what is the next step. You see, in order to gain ground, you will have to take steps. And for Tszyu, the questions hang high over his head more than anyone, but for Spencer, there are questions all the same. Because Spencer now is 25 years of age, and he is ready to show his wares and advance to a level of credibility amongst the top fighters in the world. With a record of 19-1 and 11 KOs, he's coming in against Tszyu looking to separate himself. And the Michigan native has a tough task ahead when he faces Tszyu in Newcastle. He's going to have to bring everything that he has learned through his ring experience, the coaches that have worked with him, and what he's been able to observe from the sport from afar and involved, all together to culminate in a performance that could either raise the level or he'll be pushed back amongst those who are less considered. In the event of Tszyu, who's coming into this fight with his record of 24-2, 17 KOs, he's coming off of back-to-back losses. And at the age of 30 now, the Soul Taker is going to have to refocus his career. Is he ready to come back from the knockout that he sustained against Bakram Murtazaliev in October of 2024, where he lost in 3 rounds, a brutal stoppage where he was down 3 times in round 2 and once in round 3. That saw Tim leave that bout where he was just totally disenchanted about where he was in the aftermath of that fight. Now, when we talk about Spencer, Spencer also suffered a loss already in his career, and his single loss came in 2023, March, where he lost in 7 rounds to Jesus Ramos Jr. And he was dropped in the first round of the fight, and they stopped the fight TKO in the 7th. Spencer has since come back with 3 wins in a row, but they were not at the level of Ramos Jr. So this fight with Tszyu is he getting back into the mix and against a higher class fighter and world title holder, and it's going to define where he really is. Being the younger, fresher fighter, he should have a different psychological approach to this fight as well, but we're not certain how he's gonna deal with the matters at hand. It is an opportunity for both men, because of their setbacks, to show resolve and to show exactly how they can make adjustments to remain in the thick of things. when it comes to Tszyu, I do believe that he was a little bit far-sighted when he considered himself going in against the likes of Murtazaliev. He didn't think that what ended up happening could happen because he had been facing a number of opponents and had done some damage to his opponents, especially when he fought in his home country. But there's something about someone being motivated. And we don't know that Tszyu was as motivated as he may have needed to be, or if he just underestimated Murtazaliev. But against Spencer, because Spencer is 25, he shouldn't take Spencer for granted. He's still fighting with advantages, meaning that the bout is being held in Newcastle. People are more familiar with Tszyu in that region than they are with Joey Spencer. But this is a chance for Joey to snatch lightning and put it in a bottle. Overall, I think that Tszyu should be favored going into this, but what type of damage is left with back-to-back defeats that he suffered to Sebastian Fundora and Murtazaliev? It remains to be seen. Spencer is 5'10" with a 70-inch reach. Tszyu is 5'8.5" with a 70.5-inch reach. Will men box their way to victory, or will they brawl their way to victory? That remains to be seen. But sometimes when you have a young fighter and he comes in and he's put together by his trainers and the people that handle and guide his career, sometimes he can find that silver lining. And this may be the chance of a lifetime for a fighter like Joseph Spencer. I believe that he has advantages going in against Tszyu because Tszyu was so disenchanted after the loss to Murtazaliev. He just couldn't understand how it could happen to him. However, Spencer has had a chance to rebuild against a type of opposition that could replenish the desire as well as rebuild the confidence. And that could be the difference going into this fight, the confidence, which I think that Spencer has the edge in. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts about Spencer's chances to elevate and if Tszyu can get over his recent losses. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.